Welcome back.
Peace.
Welcome back to Yanadameen Godcast. I am Lord Jamar, and right now I have a special guest with me in the house. I got my brother. Just came home. Unique Hall. Unique from Mecca Audio. Harlem
All right.
legend. Welcome home,
All
kid.
right.
How you
What up,
be,
what
God?
up, God?
I'm
All
great,
right.
God.
All right. You look good.
You look good too, God. How you be?
Man, I'm good. So it was a pleasure getting with you last week. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The God came out to the rest, and we built for what's that? A documentary that you're doing, God?
Yeah, for my YouTube at Unique Mecca Audio at YouTube, I'll
Right.
be putting little joints together. So, I had to get the original GOD,
Okay.
Mecca Audio's own, Club 2000's own.
You make sure y'all go follow and subscribe. What's the name of your YouTube again?
Unique Mecca Audio.
Unique Mecca Audio. Y'all go follow that right now.
All right, at Instagram and YouTube, and Roaring Harlem at Instagram.
Right. So
And buy the book. I ain't mean to cut you off. Buy the book at roaringharlem.com.
RoarInHarlem.com.
All
Go
right.
check that out. Well, listen, our connection, a lot of people might know the connection that we have from the Love Me and Leave Me Alone
Babe,
LP. The cover for that was shot in front of Mecca Audio. Oh, you got it right there?
yeah, I got you, family.
Uh-huh.
I'm
There
gonna
we go.
represent you all the way.
Man, look at that. Brand Nubian. Love Me and Leave Me Alone.
All right.
A young Lord Jamar, a young Dottie X, and a young Sincere Allah. Okay? In front of Mecca Audio. Okay.
All right.
Now we're gonna get to what Mecca Audio was, and why it existed and all of that. But let's take it back now. And I know that you're working on a film and all that, so we're not gonna get crazy into detail and all that. But I'd like to give the people a brief, a brief history of who Unique is and why he's so unique. Okay.
Okay.
And how you came to play a part in all, in the hip hop game and just in the Harlem, you know what I mean? In that Harlem lifestyle of those 90s that we was living in. So yeah, tell me a little bit, like, where'd you grow up? Where you from? You know what I mean? And let's just start there.
And I came up from Jamaica in 1972. You know what I mean? I rested in Jersey. You know what I'm saying?
What part of Jersey?
First came to Hackensack for a couple of months, and then my family moved over to Teaneck.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When I, like I said, back in the early 70s. And from there, I used to go back and forth across the bridge because Teaneck only a hop, skip, and a jump from New York.
Now, Teaneck is where they had Sugar Hill Records.
Yeah. I grew up out here with Leland Robinson and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
But at that time, I was in New York in the Herb Gates, Rita Roaring Harlem. I'm gonna keep saying that because a lot of things is in that they, you want to know. But I got
the
to
Herb
give you
Gates, right?
Yeah, the Herb Gates. You already know.
We got some.
All
Anyway,
right.
go ahead. So you was in the Herb Gates. Now you said you came up here. How old?
I was 7.5.
Okay.
I came January 72, and I turned 8 in May 72.
So you were in Jersey, and then from Jersey you moved to Harlem. Is that what happened?
No. From there, I had family in Brooklyn, because I'm Jamaican. So my Jamaican roots was over there. You know what I mean? So I'm down there in Brooklyn. He lived over there on Jefferson and White Place and Whitecroft and Irvin. You know what I mean? But hustled up there towards Eastern Parkway. You know what I mean? By Schenectady and all that. You know what I'm saying? Ran up and down. Did my little thing.
Over there.
So
wait, you around what age now?
About 11, 12. You know what I mean?
Talking about did your little thing. What was your little thing? What was the little thing you was doing?
you know, started out with the weed, you know what I mean? Like I said, started out with the weed thing, you know what I mean? Was doing the weed, you know, from early age, was in the herb gates, you know, 10, 11 years old. My older brother
So
and
you
my cousin.
selling weed for somebody at that age?
Yeah, exactly. For my older brother and my cousin. You already know, you know. But
Right.
that's where I got my teachings, because I was a good student and I was taught to be a good soldier. Not to brag about it, but like I said, you know, but just letting you know what it is, you know.
So let
I'm
me ask you
promoting.
something.
Mhm.
Tell me one thing that you learned at that time, like being 11 years old, that like about hustling that stuck with you for the rest of your life, that you felt like that was valuable to learn at that age, if anything.
That okay, that you don't owe a man anything. You know what I mean? When he gives you something, you pay him. You
Mm,
know what I mean? I don't care
mm,
if it's your best friend, your brother, or how close the relation is, because people misconstrue the closeness of the relationship
mm,
and
mm,
confuse that with business. And
mm,
that's where a lot of murders came into play. You
mm.
know what I mean? And a lot of, oh, he was wrong. How could he do that to this one and that one? But this one and that one put themselves in that situation by playing with that man's money. Man give you something, you give him your money. You know what I mean? You got to give him his money. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was taught. You know, before you take your money, you pay for what was given to you on consignment. Then you take your money.
Correct. Don't fuck
Mm-hmm.
nobody's money up, because
Mm-hmm.
that's some shit I learned at a young age too. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to be owing nobody nothing.
Nah,
You know what I
nah.
mean? You don't want to owe nobody nothing. Always fucking make sure that your shit is clean. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
keep your business clean. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So, and you said this is in the 70s?
Yeah, yeah. This is about 75, 76, you
Mm,
know.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
New York was a different animal at that time.
Oh yeah, but at that time it was a peaceful animal. It wasn't the vicious animal it turned into in the mid '80s when they dumped crack on the streets. You know what I mean? At this time it was heroin, where a nigga got high, he nodded and went to sleep. You know what I
Right,
mean? Crack, a nigga got high, he got up and started chasing where he gonna get his next high from before he even blew the smoke out.
right,
You know what I mean? That was the difference with crack and heroin. You
right.
know,
I
you
remember the
chase.
70s being real filthy though. Like a lot of
Yeah, it was
burned
real.
down buildings, a lot of dirt,
Mm.
it was just a filthy animal. Like, like
Yeah. Oh no, no, but that was because at that time was when the heroin wars came about, especially like in the Bronx. They was fighting for buildings and territory,
mm,
and there was firebombing a lot. You know what I mean? A lot of Puerto Ricans came over and they introduced firebombing. Jamaicans with firebombing.
right.
If I can't hustle in the building, you can't either. Burn the whole building down.
Right,
You know
and
what I
and
mean?
the landlords was getting that
Mm.
paper too, that
No,
insurance.
no, no. Oh no, you definitely know that. But a lot of it came from the wars, and like you said, the landlords felt like they couldn't control the tenants and the drugs that was in there, so they burnt the building down themselves and collected insurance money. So
Right.
you're 100%
Let me get
right.
the
You know
fuck
how
out.
that go.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you
Okay,
know.
so you're in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing your little weed thing. Time
Mm-hmm.
goes on. What are we doing now?
You know what I mean?
And and
You
and
know,
and and, and, and not to cut you off, but kind of music are you listening to right now? What are you into musically?
oh
Fashion
man, I'm
wise
straight.
and all of that. I know you're Jamaican, so it's like got some wallabies or some shit. What do you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Like, what are you fucking with?
Oh, okay. I mean, you know, we went over to 42nd Street, ran and, you know, got our little Clarks, the Wallabies. Then we hit Layton's, got our Knicks Ganzi. Y'all call it a shirt. That's the Knicks Ganzi. You know what I mean? I mean, little $200-300, you know, Nick joints. You know how we do. Cause I seen you with a few. You know what I mean? So I already know you just doing this for the audience because you a fly brother too. You know what I mean? But you know, we hit Layton's, you know, do what we doing, you know, got the linen suits and you know what I mean? And you know, we did our thing, you know, went back, you know, over to Brooklyn, and, you know, we hit the little love people in the parties and things like that, and
Love
Empire
people.
skating ring. Let's not
Wow,
forget Empire. You
wow.
know what I mean?
Shout out
Come on, family.
Empire, man. Oh
Yeah,
man,
you already know, you know.
man.
Mm. And
So
as far as music, I was listening more mixtapes. You know what I mean? I was into the mixtapes where before the mixtapes. I'm talking Jamaican mixtape when we had like Lone Ranger. You know what I mean? Brigadier Jerry. You
yeah,
know, At
Icamos.
One, Icamos. You understand what I'm saying? The underground man them. You know,
Yeah.
that's what, you know, the rude boy I taught them. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know, huh?
Josie Wills.
Huh, okay.
Um, man. All right. So what you mostly came up in Brooklyn? Is that like, is that most?
Nah. I ain't mostly come from Brooklyn. That's when I was young. From there, you know, my brother moved over to the Bronx and opened up our herb gates over there with my cousin. And then we, you know, we migrated to the Bronx when the rest of the family stayed over there in Brooklyn.
So how
You know
much
what I mean?
older it was your brother than you?
Oh man, about 6, 7 years. I'm the
Oh,
baby. I'm the baby. You know what I mean?
okay.
Yeah, you
Okay.
know, he was
I
already
see.
in his teens, you know, early teens, you know, late
Yeah.
teens,
Oh,
doing him, and you know, he brought me in as his soldier because he knew I was gonna make sure his money right. So he taught me to
right.
make sure I paid him all his money. So that's what stuck with me, and that's what
Right.
made me a successful hustler when I branched out and went to Harlem and started dealing with the Columbians. You know what I mean? I knew to pay them their money and not playing the games with their money and give them their money before I took my money. So from that, they continuously flooded me with drugs, so I was comfortable. I learned at an
So
early age, you pay, you get.
hang on now. Hang on,
Mm.
because this is where disconnect comes sometimes. So how the fuck do you go from like, well, maybe it's because your brother, maybe the people, well, maybe you're gonna answer this question. How do you go from just you selling some weed and shit for your brother and all of that, and now all of a sudden you talking about you in Harlem fucking with Colombians and shit like that? Like, where do those connects come in at? Like, you see what I'm saying? Because for a lot of people, you know, when you coming up, finding that connect is like the holy grail. Like for a lot of people, they don't know what they want to do it, but where do they get the connect from? Where are these magical Colombians you speak of? You see what I'm
Oh,
saying? That's putting niggas
okay.
on and all this type of shit. Like
Mm.
how you get on to them?
Because like I said, you know, I shifted. I came from Jersey, you know what I mean? From Hackensack to Teaneck to Brooklyn to the Bronx, and from there to Harlem. You know what I mean? Well, really from there to Washington Heights. You know what I mean? So I started going up in Washington Heights and, you know, doing little stick ups and shit like that. You know, was getting high, was freebasing. You know what I mean? Freebasing was a drug of choice, like you smoking a weed now. That's the drug of choice in the 2020. Back then it was, you know, freebasing and sniffing coke. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Now
So
this is
all the
before crack. This is not crack.
yeah. No, I say no
Yeah,
crack. I don't even know what no crack is. You know
right.
what I mean? That's some next shit. I was in jail when that came out.
This the shit
But you
that
know,
Richard Pryor got fucking.
yeah, exactly. With the ether and all that. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Cooking up with the ether.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the era I came from. You know what I'm saying? Went uptown to Washington Heights, and that's where all the coke was.
Right.
So, you know, I'm up there doing my thing. I'm buying, getting high, robbing, you know, and I'm living up there every day. So when you live anywhere any day, you know the ins and outs there. So you know who's coming to drop off what. So you know who the connect is by who's dropping off and you there. It's
Right.
not like you passing through every day, different times, and you just see different things and don't know what's happening. I'm
In the
literally
mix.
living up there.
Right.
So I see what it is, and you know, I know how to talk and shit. I got the gift of gab. I let a nigga know, give me mines. I'm gonna make sure you get yours, and you ain't got nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? They started me off a little bit, gave me a little shot, and that's where it went from there. You know?
So, all right. So let me ask you, when did you become unique?
I went to jail in like '84. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And out in Jersey in a little spot called Annandale. You know what I mean? Went through Trenton and all that, Jones Farm, Southern State. You know what I mean? Yardsville first is reception, made around to Annandale, and I met a good brother there named Mishore You Cipher, God of Law. You
Mm.
know what I mean? And
Say that
he
name
gave me
again.
knowledge of self. Mishore You Cipher, God of Law.
Mm.
You
Peace,
know what I mean?
y'all. Okay.
Yeah, peace. You know what I mean? And he gave me, you know, knowledge of self. That's where I got the tat from.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You
Mhm.
know, you already know what it is. We all God body used to go to the rallies every last Sunday of the month at Harriet Tubman 126. You know what I mean? So I mean, you know, we go back. You know what I'm saying? Throw the wallabies on and you know the little bucket hat kangos and you know we bounce up in the joint and do what we do.
Right.
You know, Savior's Day in February. You know.
So time goes on. I mean, you dealing with these dudes, and you start doing your thing. Like
Mm.
start getting some bread. So now, what you opening up spots and shit like that? Like opening up stores and like how
Yeah, but
how do we get to like Mecca Audio and shit now?
Because, like I said, I grew up with the Jamaicans, back in the 70s, and we came up and everything was indoors. You know what I mean? The herb gates was in apartments. Right. You know what I mean? And the storefronts. You know what I mean? Where we had the patty shops. You know what I'm saying? We sell the beef patty and cocoa bread on some nickel and tray bag.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I come up in an era where we get a business, we get an inside. You understand? So when I come up,
well, you used to have those outside hustlers. You remember them niggas that used to run up to your car on Edgecombe, 145th for Edgecombe.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That was the Spanglers. They came later in the mid '80s. Is when they came. You know what I mean? But before that, everything was indoors on the low because we stood out. You know what I mean? And Jamaica stood out like a sore thumb with our red, gold, and green belt hanging. You know what I mean? Our rag in our back pocket with our, our different color mesh T-shirts in the summer. We just stood out like a sore thumb. You know what I mean? So we did everything on the inside to kind of like blend. Then our walk, talk, accent, everything. So we basically had to work around, you know what I mean, the police and things like that. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So when we came out, we had to make a stand so that nobody didn't try and, run in the door behind us when we going back in the apartment, being that we not from there. So that's why, it was, you know what it is.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So y'all in apartments and stuff. So when did it get to the point where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna give me like a store or some shit. Like I'm gonna get
Nah. See, I was a soldier the whole time. I was loyal. I could have did my own thing, but I was loyal to my brother and my cousin that brought me out there. So I never went and did my thing. When I got locked up in '85, I came home in '87. October, my brother got locked up in October, January 1st. So when I come home in October '87, he wasn't there. And my older cousin that also, was my mentor, he retired and moved down south. You understand what I'm saying? So now I'm the only one left here. But now I'm a healthy, young man in my early 20s. Right. And like I said, I'm already up in Washington Heights, so I know where to get the coke. So now I had to go somewhere to move the coke that wasn't as much competition as Washington Heights. So I took it down the hill and, went down to 8th Avenue, and did what I did. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Copy that. And then Mecca Audio was born out of that. That was
you know what I mean? Yeah,
and indoor.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That was really, the home base to set up someplace, like I said, for the DJs. That's why, like you say, that's why we got this. That's why DJs, you know what I mean? And rappers, they was welcome to come through there, and I made sure it was comfortable and everybody treated, you know what I mean? Brothers with respect, no matter where they from or who they was.
So let's talk about Mecca Audio for a second. Like, what was Mecca Audio exactly? Like, what was it? Because I remember it as a combination of things.
It definitely was. Like, and that's because me at Jamaica, we have many different jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the store deal with many different, businesses.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we had the record shop, we had the studio upstairs, we had the DJs.
I don't know if I remember the studio.
Yeah.
But I remember the record shop. I remember the DJs being there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the studio, the studio was like exclusive right above the joint that the little soldiers worked in, and they made the music up there, and that's where the Mecca Audio Chant and the hip hop parade and all that got created in the studio upstairs. You understand what I'm saying? But that's where the weed and all that was being stored. So we weren't gonna jeopardize you in that and dime. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what the studio was up there. But Mecca Audio, we had the DJ booth. I mean, the 210 turbos and the mix and everything down there, speakers on the sidewalk. You know how we do. I even got the big picture. You know what I mean?
Right. I feel like, you see?
Oh, yeah, all right, let me see.
Oh yeah, okay.
Now here go the storefront. They go to the store. That's the sidewalk. Remember how we had it painted the red, gold, and green with the Africa?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yep. They used to threaten to give us fines every day for that joint. You know what I mean? For us painting it. But that became a part of the payroll. You know what I mean? We had to pay dues, so I worked out a deal where the sidewalk went with the weekly payments. You know what I mean? To the peoples that made sure everything rang like it was supposed to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What is when is that conversation like? When somebody rolls up on you and like, motherfucker, pay me every week and you'll be all right. Like,
Nah, see, they pulled me over. You know what I mean? You know, I had a large sum of money in the car, and they basically asked me, "Yo, you want to give me the money, or you want to go to jail?" You know what I mean? And that was their intro. You know what I mean? So of course I said, "Man, take the money." You know what I'm saying? So they said, "Okay, well, you know, we're gonna take this, but here's our card. If you have any problems, any issues, you know what I mean, you call us. If anybody come around, ask any questions, you call us. And anything that happened, you call us. You know what I mean? We work for you now." You know what I mean? And, you know, they made sure everything was proper. You know what I mean? So, you know, when other police try to come around and shake down and let them know, yo, go deal with such and such. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing to say to you. You know what I mean? And, you know, and the people that, you know, dealt with me, they was official where I could talk that shit and be that shit. You know what I mean? They gonna make sure they couldn't do nothing. You know what I mean? On no retaliation.
now in that pullover right there, about how much bread are we talking about? They walked away with.
Oh, it was a meal. It was my first meal. You know, my first meal, I got robbed for it. You know what I mean?
Whoa! What?
Yeah, I got robbed for it, son. It was either go to jail or give him the money.
Wow!
Mm.
Wow! That's crazy. So they just caught you at the right time. Like you just had all
Yeah,
that at that moment. You like,
yeah. You know, back then you call it a humbug. You know what I mean? They pulled a nigga over. You know, they got lucky, but like I said, you know, they were smooth about it. They basically just let me know straight up, yo, we could either take you in or we could take the money. You know what I'm saying?
so
And you know,
after
that
that,
was the intro.
yeah, and for that
Yeah,
amount, that was like, oh, we work for you. Like
yeah.
the
You
amount,
know
oh,
what I
we
mean?
work for
Hey, you know,
whatever you need. Like you want me to
you know,
take your shoes, your stuff to the cleaner. Like,
you
got
know.
you.
Mm.
Oh man, wow. And so you just took that on the chin and just kept it moving.
Yeah, I mean, shit is better than, you know, walking around a 4x cell trying to pay that to get out.
Of course. And what years is this around? Is this
This is like middle of 88. You know what I mean?
88?
Right around the summer of 88.
Oh, shit was really still cracking it then. Like
Hey,
Bunny
you
was
know,
out here.
yeah, I mean, everything was cheap then.
Everything.
Everything was cheap and available.
Mm, mm. So, I mean, we're still gonna get more into the Mecca audio. Um, you know, what ended up being almost like a lifestyle, like you know what I mean, that y'all
Mm-hmm.
created. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
tell
because that was created. That was created for the people. That wasn't created for me. Like I said, I wanted to give the DJs a home. I wanted the DJs to feel welcome because there was a bunch of
why?
DJs
Why did you
because there
want
was
to do that?
because they didn't have a lot of them didn't have their own equipment. They had their records and things like that. But as far as me talking about buying amps and speakers, a
Yes,
lot of them
that was
didn't have
hard.
that.
See, I was
Yeah,
a DJ. I started as a DJ. I had to
so then you know.
cobble together my shit. I had to
Mm,
fucking, you know what I mean? Get niggas that wasn't as nice as me,
mm-hmm.
make them feel like, first of all,
They
my
was they
my
was equal
my well, not that they was equal, but make them feel like they was almost investing in the
in the
better,
brand.
and then the one that was gonna go further. You see what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
they
Yeah.
knew I was nicer than them, and I had the crib that was like where people could come hang out at. So you got this
Mm,
equipment, people can't even come over there. Your moms don't want you to play music
yeah.
and all this stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like you come to my crib, we smoke, you know, we drinking 40, we doing, you know what I mean?
mm,
Chilling and we playing music till fucking
you know.
at least 1 in the morning. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm talking we young kids doing this, you know what I mean?
Mm,
But I had to cobble together my shit. My moms couldn't just buy me a whole set like that, you know?
exactly.
So I totally understand the plight of a young up and coming DJ who has talent but doesn't have access to
There you go.
equipment. And so
There
that's
you
what you
go.
was providing for them.
Exactly.
Mm.
And they already know they could just come anytime, pull up. I got my records in there. They just come pull up and get on the turntable. They ain't had to ask no questions.
See, that's another
what I
thing.
mean? That was their
Records
home.
cost money. Like
Yeah,
records cost money. Like I had records, you know what I mean? But a lot of people, man, like, you know what I mean? That shit costs money. That shit costs money. You got to be dedicated, man. A lot of people, you know what I mean?
You know, because like the DJs would come and tell me, yo, they got these new beats I'm trying to get, They just got them downtown at the subway, you know, the joint down there on 42nd, you know what I mean?
Oh, right, the record.
The Hut, right?
Yeah,
the Hut. You know what I mean? So, you know, I give them a little couple of hundred, give them a stack and tell them to go down there and just go get some records, you know, just to bring up in the store.
Right.
Just to make sure when the DJs come, it's already there, so they don't have to bring their music. You know what I mean?
Wow. I would have loved to have some shit like that in the hood back then, around my way. You know? That would have been. That's all. I would have been there every fucking day.
Yeah, you know, like you said,
that's what made because that was there every day.
You know, that's what made it home. You know,
right? Damn, because I remember y'all used to be like, y'all used to sell gear and shit out of there too, right? Didn't you have like kicks and shit?
Everything. Everything. You already know what it is.
I bought some kicks out of there before, hoodies, all kind of shit out of there.
You already know, son. You know, that was your one-stop shop. You know?
So you're doing Mecca Audio. When did you say, you know what? Start throwing these parties. I'm gonna do this Club 2000 thing.
You know, I started, you know, like they didn't have no clubs uptown then. Everything was downtown. The Red Zone, Red Parrot, you know, Bentley's, you know what I mean? Latin Quarters, you know what I mean? Everything was downtown. So, you know me, I don't like to go downtown. You know what I mean? I like to stay close to home, you know what I mean? Where I know I'm safe, because like I said, you know, I'm protected, you know, by the powers that be. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to go downtown. Because whenever we go downtown, then you had a whole different set of precincts. You know what I mean? That didn't abide by the rules of uptown. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, they gonna want their cut too if they get whiff of who you are.
Right.
Yeah. So I
and
stayed
you
in my
already
little
to pay
area.
them niggas.
Yeah,
they already
you know
already got you for that. So shit.
You know,
you're not gonna do that again.
You know. So you know, that's how we did that to basically just stay where we had to stay and stay in our area, man.
So you said, let me create my little heaven right here.
There you go.
Y'all try to think heaven is damn. No, I'm gonna have heaven right here amongst
right there,
right here.
You know what I mean?
Where I'm good money.
Because I'm right there on 155th and 8th, and right up the back step by the Polo Grounds, take you right up to St. Nick, Amsterdam, and then Club 2000.
Yes, sir.
So you could walk there from my building. So I made sure it was accessible to my people to be able to get to, because I got it for them. Like I got the record shop for them. That was my way of giving back to the community. You know what I mean? So I made sure everything had to come through Harlem when I was out there. So that's why when I talk that shit and I say I am Harlem, you know what I mean? Because, I helped build it. You know what I mean? When it came to the hip hop scene.
If y'all didn't have the privilege of going to Club 2000 back at this time, like, I'm sorry, like you just missed it. Like
for real.
Because shit is not like that no more. Like they don't have clubs like that no more. Like that is that authentic is the best word that I could think of. You know what I mean? Like it was just super authentic. Like bad broads was in there. You know what I mean? Real, like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't no corny dudes up in this, up in Club 2000. Like, you know what I mean? Like most people up in there was somebody.
Yeah, because don't forget, I used to fly the girls in from Miami, Atlanta, North Carolina, the Miami girls versus New York, Atlanta girls versus New York.
That was a whole thing. We was like, what? Like, what? Like, what is this? Like, yo, Unique. Wow. Like, he flying in bras from Miami and shit. Like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like, and like I told you before, to your channel, but I'm gonna tell my people here, like Club 2000 was so crazy that the same night that I had my son, my firstborn son, we went out to celebrate, and guess where we went?
All right. Club
Motherfucking
2Ts.
Club 2000. And that was the first night that I met SWV. They wasn't even
Big
out
shout
yet.
out to Legally.
They was running
Coco.
around promoting their shit and slapping stickers on people, and you know.
And I got pictures from that night, homie.
Yeah. We got pictures from that night. I might even have my guy edit it in and put it up. Yeah, man. Club 2000 was cracking. I said it another time. There was another time where, man, we were supposed to perform. We were performing there, and this is when Punk's Jump Up was.
Oh yeah,
through the roof.
Yeah, that was another animal.
And it was just like Punk Jump Up and Club 2000 was like at its pinnacle at the same time or some shit like. And man, I just remember all the cars and fucking the line down the block, and it was just one of those nights that you just felt great and you just felt like, yeah, like,
I made it.
Yeah, I made it. Like I made it.
I made
you know
it.
what I mean? And like for a black man, I didn't have to be in Hollywood or some shit to feel like that.
There you go.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
that was the whole thing
I was right
was to
there
bring to the
amongst
hood.
my own people, and niggas is doubled and triple parked, and Benzes and BMs, and you know what I mean, all kind of shit out there. And, you know what I mean? Like shit was crazy, yo. Shit was crazy. And I don't know if people are ever gonna see it like that again, especially with the times we live in now, with all of this stay inside the bullshit and stay away from each other. Like, you remember 25th back then?
Oh man.
25th?
Man, 25th Street was like that was like a flea market on the sidewalk on both sides of the street.
Like seriously,
You know?
like niggas triple parked.
Yep.
Like it was damn near one lane you could go like in the middle of and it should have started like 2:33 in the morning. Like crazy. Motherfuckers just don't know about that. That was our Harlem Renaissance. You dig?
Huh? Tell them again.
That was our Harlem Renaissance. For real. Would you say a roar in Harlem? That's definitely was a roar.
Man, roaringharlem.com. Cop the book Bananas, and follow us at Unique Mecca Audio at YouTube and Instagram, baby.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
So while you was doing Club 2000 and all that, you kind of became famous for certain chants and calls, things of that nature. You know, one of the main ones I know is the "Hey yo."
You already know.
That was that Mecca audio shit, and Dougie Fresh ended up making a record. With the AOI,
Yeah, it was a little misunderstanding at the beginning with it, but we worked it out. And like I said, Dougie kept it 100 as a man. I love him and respect him, to the day I die, because he kept it 100. He honored his word as a man.
December 17th, birthday twins, me and Doug, same day.
Okay, then you already know that's my man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I mean, I felt like he was, that was such a Harlem thing. Like Club 2000 was such a Harlem thing, and like, what you was doing with the Chants and all of that was such a Harlem thing as well. And I kind of feel like he was paying homage to that. You know what I mean?
And he did. And he did.
Yeah, he was paying homage to that. He wasn't trying to like jack.
Yeah, but nah. If I said misunderstanding, I got it. We got it together. But now, as far as the hip hop parade, everybody know where that started too. You know what I mean? So let's keep it 100. You know what I mean? That's Mecca audio. You know what I mean? All day. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, I'm looking forward to sitting down with Tretch and we talking, you know, and working something out amicable. You know what I mean? He know what time it is. I know what it is, and everybody know what it is. You know what I mean? The hood speaks. You know what I mean? It was too many people there to play ignorant.
Tretch is the love one too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You already know. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to sitting down with him, you know, as men. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm here now, you know. Yeah, we're going to work it out.
That's right. Well,
you're going to work it out.
Speaking of I'm here now, at some point, when did you end up getting locked up?
I got locked up December 93 is when I got locked up. December 10th, 1993, and I just came home May 15th, 2020, you know.
Do the math. How many years is that?
26 and a half years.
26 and a half years. This is in the Fed?
Yeah, in the Feds, yeah. You know, open up started in Lewisburg, opened up ADX, went to Allenwood, Lompart, Coleman, Florida, Lee County. You know what I mean? You know, been around, you know what I mean? A lot of penitentiaries, you know, a lot of investigations, you know, a lot of federal bullshit. You know how they do, move you around to keep you from the family. Cut your phone minutes to cut your ties. You know what I mean? That way you're more dependent upon the system, you know what I mean, than yourself or your peoples.
Right.
You know, that was their objective.
Damn. That's a long time, brother.
Yeah, 26 and a half years, man.
So now, told people earlier when we was talking about, you know, voting and stuff like that, I said, listen, I'm not putting either one of these motherfuckers, really. But I kind of would like you to speak on how you were able to get out and how that was made possible.
Donald Trump and his team, you know, with Jared Kushner and them, they put together the First Step Act. You know what I mean? The First Step Act was created to help the, you know, to release the mass incarceration with the injustice, you know, by a sentence of the crack dealers. You know what I mean? So being that I'm from the crack era, I fell under that because if you had a crack case, then you could go back to show that that your sentence, you know, I mean, that you rehabilitated yourself, that we have done something with our time. You know what I mean? And over the years, you know, when I went in, I couldn't read and write. So, you know, I buckled down when I got to ADX and, you know, learned to read a little bit, you know what I mean? Took a little GED on TV.
All of that and didn't know how to read and write?
Nah, I didn't need to. All I need to do was read a scale. As long as you could read a triple beam scale, you all right back in those days. You know what I mean? You know, everything else was secondary.
Wow.
You know?
Okay.
You know? But yeah, Donald Trump signed in a joint where he gave the power back to the judges to release us. You understand what I'm saying? If he felt that we was rehabilitated. You understand what I'm saying? And I had a whole lot of program because that's how I did my time. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I knew that in time they was gonna have to release us from prison, you know, us crack dealers. But being that I had a kingpin charge, I knew I had to work extra hard. So I had to have something to bring to the table. So at that time, they didn't have nothing that you could say that you was programming and go to the judge to ask for relief. You know what I mean? So a lot of people didn't take advantage of the programming, but I knew they would have to because you can't put 10 pounds of flour in a 2-pound bag and expect the 10 pounds to hold. And that's what they were doing with the black and minorities, was throwing us in prison. You know what I mean? Like a 10-pound bag of flour and put us in a prison system that was only able to hold 2 pounds of flour. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I programmed, got all my little things together and, you know, just stayed focused. And then when Donald Trump signed to join in, giving the judges permission, being that when I got sentenced, you know, and, you know, you get sentenced, the judge asks if you got anything to say. This way you ask for leniency, your family stand up and speak, and, you know, and all that. You know, all I asked him was send me someplace closer to home where I could further my education. I didn't ask for no leniency. I ain't trying to be tough guy. I'm just keeping it real. I didn't ask for none of that because I had 255 keys, you know what I mean, from Virginia alone. So that's life, no matter how you look at it. unless you're going to tell something. You know what I mean? So we're not even going to entertain the idea, you know what I mean, of telling nothing. So we're not going to entertain the idea of asking for nothing. You know what I mean? So I asked him to send me somewhere where I could better my education. And then when the Trump thing came out, where it said if you bettered yourself while you was in jail, you could show your proof to the judge, and it's up to the judge what he do. And you know, that's what I did. I brought what I had to the to Brittany Barnett. Brittany Barnett from Buried Alive, good sister. She helped a whole bunch of us. You know what I mean? She's our angel. You know what I mean? But Brittany Barnett, you know, she took all my accomplishments, she put it together and submitted it, and you know what I mean? And the judge looked at it and, you know, said he would be honored to release me. You know what I mean? And he released me. You know what I mean? So I mean, you know, I'm happy for it. You know, I stayed focused, you know, and I'm here now.
That's great. That's great. So you're here now. What's your plans? What do you know? What do you want to see in the future for Unique?
You know, I'm putting together this movie and like a series for like Netflix stars, you know, something like Power and all that. Because you know, I got mad content because my life is mad content. You know what I mean? So I sit here and, you know, like a roaring Harlem, I literally wrote that in like 10 to 14 days. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I type 60 words a minute. I type right out my head in book form. You know what I mean? And, you know, the stories is fresh, you know, because I lived it. So I don't have to sit there like an average writer and think about what to say. Think about
you know how to
where you're
type
going.
60 words a minute right now, guy?
Yeah, I type 60 words a minute.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know? Yeah.
I'm still out here.
Yeah, but that's because I can't write. I still don't know how to handwrite. You know what I mean? For those of y'all that brought my book, even you, the book I gave you, see my signature. I have trouble just holding a pen. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up holding a pen. I grew up holding a pistol. You know what I mean? Like, give me a pistol, I'm good. I can hold that. I can write with that. You know what I mean? I can spell your name with that.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
But, all that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But give me a pen or a pencil, then I got a little trouble, you know?
Oh, man. Neat. So, I mean, what's the message you would give to, you know, some of these young cats out here right now that, you know, get out here, start hustling, and they want to get them 250 something keys and all that? Well, you know, what you want to tell them?
And I'm gonna let them know that, you know, all that joint was fun. What I did was fun. I enjoyed myself. I had a ball, but at the end of the day, it wasn't worth it because it took 26 years of my life away from me. You know what I mean? I wasn't there to watch my kids grow up. I wasn't there to watch my first few grandkids being born. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, all the fun and everything that I had, it wasn't worth it. And I tell them, don't do it. Don't get in the game. All the money in the world ain't worth it. You know what I mean? Because when them people put you in a cage, you ain't gonna be able to take that money with you. The little bit that you leave behind and got stashed here and there, how long you think that's gonna last when they start talking them double digits, 40 or 50 years? Because that's what they're gonna give you. So I'm gonna tell you it ain't worth it. But I'm gonna also tell you, if you feel that you stronger than me, I ain't the strongest man because they broke me. You know what I mean? Let's keep it real. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, don't do it. But if you think you're strong enough to do it, you know what I'm saying? Just know, like my shirt say, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Don't go running your mouth. When they pick you up, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
And you go buy that at Unique Mecca, at Mecca Audio Urban Gear, urbanwear.com.
Who is that little Takashi up there right there?
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I don't call names and do all that. You know what I mean? They know who to get them for. You can buy these shirts and send them to anybody.
Shut the fuck up.
You know, you can send these shirts to anybody, man. Like I said, I don't badmouth nobody's choices. I let them do them and focus on the choices they made. You know what I mean? So what they do is on them. Because when I lay my head on the pillow end of the night, I sleep like a baby with my own demons. And I learn to balance my demons throughout the night. So I don't need to pick up the next man's demons.
Listen, Nick, it's been really great talking to you.
And it was a pleasure, baby.
Yeah, you know, we got some things, you know, that we're gonna talk about again off camera.
Yeah. You already know. Whenever you need me, you see, you just hit me with 30 minutes notice, and I drop doing what I'm doing to be here for you.
And I love
because I already know you'll do the same. You know how God recognize God. Mine, God take mine, you know?
True indeed, God.
You know, I want the same thing for my brother as I want for myself. And I know it's vice versa when dealing with you, Sadat, you know what I mean? Alamo, y'all always treated me like family, you know what I mean? And was always welcome at my homes and my establishments. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, listen, God, I'll let you go.
Thank you.
I appreciate you for coming by. Once
Anytime.
again, his YouTube channel is Unique Mecca Audio. So go, you know, subscribe, hit that notification bell and all of that. Make sure you do that here as well. Subscribe, like, comment, share, hit the notification bell when we drop something new. And shit, once again for the Yanadameen Godcast, I am Lord Jamar. That is Unique, and we are out.
Peace. Unique Mecca Audio and Instagram. All right.